Welcome back to Green Kenobi. We'll be starting right back up where we left off for part 2 of what if Deku was a cyborg Octoling. Reminder, I do not own this picture. So we start off when Alpha got back home. Yes. Hey kid, where are you? He starts looking for Deku after he didn't respond. Then he's looking around the machines where Deku usually hangs out. You see some spark unit over in the distance. He walks over there and says, "Hey kid, you here?" He doesn't hear a response. He goes over and turns the corner where he sees sparks flying. Deku is messing with one of the machines. Alpha says again louder, "Hey kid." Deku takes off the mask he was wearing to protect him from him working with the machinery. Said, "Yes, Alpha?" What were you working on?" "Oh, I was just trying to fix this old machine up. I thought maybe it could help make some clothes and we could sell them to make some money." That is a nice idea. But come on, it's time to eat. As he lifts a bag of food up. They both go back to the table and start to eat. "So Alpha, what do you do?" I work as basically I help the trash detail and all that. So basically, I go around picking up trash in this area and send it to the dump and sell whatever scraps there. So, like, you selling the parts from trash to make some money? In a way, you could say yes. They continue talking when they suddenly hear a bang on the door. Alpha goes over to it. Then he hears a whole lot of people saying, "Open up, let us in. And you better open the door, you mutation freak." He hears that, and hears that they're about to bust the door down. "Izuku, I need you to go hide." "Why, Alpha?" "There are some people here I need to deal with." "Okay." So, he tells Deku to crawl into the ventilation shaft in the building. Deku crawls into the ventilation shaft and crawls to the ceiling and looks down at a vent. Alpha walks towards the door. Then the door gets blown at him, pushing him to the wall. Found you, mutation. We're here to make you pay for your crimes." Alpha pushes the door off him and says, "What crimes?" "For robbing a grocery store and pickpocketing people." "I didn't do nothing of the such." "Yeah, you did." The hero throws a sword at Alpha. Alpha dodges. Another hero comes over and punches him. Alpha dodges and punches him in the face. Then the hero with the sword slashed his back. Alpha swung his claws and sent the man flying into the wall. Then some civilians that were there watching throw rocks at Alpha. Then another hero punches Alpha in the face. Alpha throws the man over his shoulders and hits the ground. The same hero got out of the wall and threw his sword, stabbing the sword into Alpha's right of the chest. Yeah, right of the chest. Then our hero uses his cork and fires a beam at Alpha, burning his back. The sword hero goes at him again with another sword. Alpha throws a punch him into the wall. The same hero that uses beams fires at him. Alpha runs towards him with his hands covering his face as the beams are hitting his arms. He headbutts the hero and then blitzes him towards the wall. Then out of nowhere, a civilian with a crossbow shot Alpha in the shoulder. Then the sword hero took this opportunity and cut off Alpha's arm. And then they pinned him to the ground. Today, there will be one less mutation-type freak here. You will be put down for your crimes, the sword hero exclaims. Any last words? Your undoing will be the fact that you're messing with mutation-type quirks. It'll be y'all's. Alpha then gets his head decapitated by the sword hero, saying, all mutation-type quirk people should just die. And what was the rest of that? As he exclaims, the civilian and the other heroes started laughing as they walked out. Oh yeah, one more thing. He lights Alpha's body on fire as they walk out of the building. Deku saw all this from the ventilation shaft, and he looked at them with pure hatred in his eyes. He crawls down from the ventilation shaft and goes over to Alpha. He goes through what was remaining of Alpha's clothes and finds a picture of him and Alpha. He was thinking, I'll have my revenge. You regular people, you civilians or heroes, don't deserve what you have. Mutation-type quirks will rise to the top, and you will know what we feel like. We skip the next day. Ma'am, as this person is Inko, turns around. Yes, it's done. And I even brought you something. Oh, what did you bring me? He throws out Alpha's hand that he had cut off. The mutation type quirk, that werewolf is dead. You don't have to be worrying about him. And you're right. I've rose through into the top 50 because of that. I'm telling you, Tardy and the mutation-type quirk people will rise you through the ranks. And as I promised, she places a bag of money. Here's your reward. Thank you. I'll be taking this and leaving. The sword hero left. As Inko smiled. That should teach the rest of them to fall in line. We go back to Deku, who had walked to the machines that were in the building. He walks over to the machines and starts disabling, taking them down, and starts building something. Those heroes and people will pay for what they did. They will know my wrath. After all, you don't just mess with mutation-type quirks just because we're different. You're just asking to be hurt. As he starts tearing apart the machines, he finds that one of the machines in the back of the factory was turned on all of a sudden. He walks over to it and saw blueprints to some sort of cloning or robotic device to make creatures of sorts. But there was one fatal flaw. They couldn't find the DNA or whatever they needed to make cyborgs. They were missing a key opponent. Yet, they never found that opponent. These could be useful. As Deku's orange eye lights up, looking at the machine. I'll figure out what this is, and it seems that I could use this for my goal. Deku then starts running through the machine for any more information. He finds the detail how to make guns, and even make machines, such as vehicles. This could be very useful for the future. And then he gets the idea, this body of mine won't be able to take on the heroes as it is. He then puts on the glove he had been experimenting on. I'll have to modify my body if I'm willing to stand a chance against the heroes and the people. For the next week, Deku had made some adjustments to his arm. It was nearly fully cybernetic. He had basically fused cybernetics into his right arm. Now to test this out, he had created a test dummy and had programmed it with a fighting style. He started to fight, and each punch the machine dealt on Deku, he turned it into power. So much power is when he punched the head of the machine, it went flying. So I was right. By making this, the physical power that I get hit with will only double in my strength. Now, I think I should be looking for that key opponent for that cyborg project. As he was going through, he noticed the only problem was the DNA. The DNA would not match up with the cybernetic. Would not match up for the cybernetic thing to work. So Deku put his DNA into the machine, and it looked like it was a perfect match. So, he had finished repairing the machine to turn him into a cyborg. He walked in to the machine, and it worked on him, changing him. He eventually turned one of his eyes robotic. His left eye was nothing but a robotic eye, and it looked exactly human, with a gray color. Then, he changed one of his tentacles into a robotic tentacle. This is perfect. With this new form, I should have a power to take down the heroes. But I can't do it alone. He goes back to the machine. I will need to make people like me. So he puts some of his blood into the machine and creates and presses start. It creates something. It creates an Octoling with physical enhancements. Where am I? You are with me. I am your creator, the Black Octoling. Why was I created? You are here to help me in the goal of freeing us mutation-type quarks from the hero's wrath. As he says this, the cyborg Octoling knelt down in front of Deku. His appearance was just like a regular Octoling. I am willing to serve, Master. With further ado, I need you to collect some things for me, if you will. What would you like me to collect? I need you to collect me these parts. He hands the Octoling a list that had parts all on it. It shall be done. One more thing, Deku says. What, sir? Your name shall now be Scarlet. As you wish, sir. Scarlet then walks out of the building, looking for materials. After he brought them back, Deku had him work on the machine more. Scarlet and Deku started working on the machine. We skip 2 years. Deku had made 2 more copies, or 2 more Octolings. One was named C, and the other one was named I. The one that was named I had a blackish red tentacles and a black and red eye. So, in dedication to the Octoling's eyes, she was named I for unique appearance. C, he had blue Octoling hair and blue eyes. Each Octoling that was created out of Deku's DNA looked different. He had assigned them all tasks. C, I, Scarlet, please come to my office. They had walked through the factory that Deku had repaired over the 2 years. They all came to his room. You need us, sir? Scarlet responded. Yes. Scarlet and C, I need you to deal with this hero for me. He places a piece of paper on his desk. It's that sword hero I heard about over the news lately. Yes, he's been quite a nuisance, and he needs to be disposed of. That wasn't the only reason Deku was sending them on that mission. Deku also wanted to avenge Alpha by killing his killer. So that's why he had sent them on that mission, or is sending them on that mission. Is there any other details we need to know, sir? No. But I think the best way to dispose of him is lure him into an alley of sorts. That is the best way to dispose of him. Luring him in an alley and taking him out there would not arouse suspicion. I see what you're planning. As expected from you. See, you have a good mind. As I've always been here to help you whenever you need it, sir. After all, I was created a bit smarter than the others. That may be true, but never let yourself be cocky. We don't want the heroes finding out of our current predicament, or finding out we exist. As he says this, his orange eye glows a bit brighter. Of course, sir. You two may leave. They both walk out of the building to go search for this hero. Why did you call me here, sir? Yes, I need you to find all of these people that were here, that came here for the incident 2 years ago. Or more like 3 now. You mean the people that killed your friend Alpha, sir? Yes. I want you to find everyone involved. Leave no trace uncovered. You can count on me, sir. I'll leave no stone unturned. After all, they coming to our home to kill one of our own is absolutely disgraceful. They should be punished. They will be punished in due time, but for the time being, we need to stay low. We can't let them know we exist, or else they'll come to eliminate us. Of course. But what about the machine? Are you going to create more of us, sir? Of course. The machine is currently overpowered at the moment. Creating you a month ago was too much for the machine. I have to edit the machine every time when I make a new Octoling, so it doesn't overpower or overheat. The machine is very delicate. One wrong move and it could explode. That's why I'm making changes slowly to it. Soon, I'll probably be able to make more than one Octoling to serve us, or to serve me. But one day, we'll rid this society of what it is, and us mutations will be at the top. That is all for today. Can you go gather that information now? Of course, sir. But if I come upon a hero in my journey of discovering this information, what should I do? Dispose of him. After all, I did hand you all special equipment. Sorry, part 2. Didn't I? We do a flashback to 3 months earlier. Sir, you had called me up here. It was Scarlet. Yes. I had some things for you. He shows a Octoling shades and an Octoling gun. This will be your equipment. It looks nice, sir. I made it myself. It should help to keep you and me in touch, after all. The shades are built in a communication device, and also a tracking device in case one of us gets captured or lost. Also, these ink guns I created can pierce even a heart of a regular person. They can also be charged, but that's only a certain model. And you basically have infinite ammo. Because, after all, I learned one thing about my powers that I've turned to y'all. Each of us can make ink, and turning the ink into weapon is precisely what we need. A brilliant masterpiece you have made, sir. Please hand this to C, and when the third Octoling is created, hand it to her. How can you be confident it's she, sir? Because the machine does more than one gender, and it's random most of the time. I presume the third one's going to be a she after all. The first 2 of you were male. It's more likely that the next one will be female. After all, if I made another male Octoling, it may override the machine. I can't risk it overriding. You're dismissed. We now go back to the present. Yeah, I remember you hanging them out. I shall take my leave now, sir. Oh, one more thing. Yes, sir? Keep an eye out for someone named All Might. I want you to research on him, too. He's probably the most infuriating thing that could come to mind if he found out we exist. Of course, sir, I'll make sure no information reaches the heroes about us, even if Scarlet and C fail, and we're leaked out. You don't have to worry about them. I'm fully confident they can complete their task. After all, I did train y'all. Of course, sir. I walks out of the room, and Deku gets up and looks out the window at the machine that made the Octolings. I better get back to work on you. I need more manpower. If in case the heroes find me, I know I won't be able to deal with them all on my own. And after what I saw 2 years ago, the civilians may even try to come after us. And the villains may as well. As his orange eye growed even brighter. They shall pay in due time. Deku then goes back to sit down on his chair. But for the meantime, I need some rest. I haven't slept in days. I hope you all enjoyed part 3 of What If Deku was a cyborg Octoling. Remember to like the video and subscribe. Sorry, part 2.